Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be removing all of the racks, front and rear, on the Alterra model of ATV. I already showed you how to remove the rear, so you can check this video out if you missed it, but I'm going to speed this process up, then show you how to do the front. Whoops. I guess the only difference in removing the rear this time is I'm not getting around that bumper. And there's just these two bolts here at the back, and then this whole fascia piece will come up. So then all you have to do is undo your plugs for the rear lights. Just unplug those. You also want to unload anything you got in your storage box, because this is going to remove the entire storage box. And then your gas tank hose, obviously. Showed how to do that when I did it last time. And then the fenders should all come off. There are tabs under the gas cap here, so I don't know if you can pop that up. Then that's going to be the easiest way to remove this, because it's kind of a struggle to get that off the pipe. Alright, that's the back. You just got 3 bolts here along the fender, the rack bolts up here, those 4, 3 bolts on this side of the fender, the wheel well, and then remove your gas tank, either the whole filler tube or you can just pop the top off, whichever way is easier for you, and then just cover that over so you don't get anything in the gas. You also have to undo the rear brake lights. You've got these 2 bolts down here for the back fascia that kind of hold that storage box area down here, and then your rear racks will come off. Of course, remove the seat, side panels, and that little panel over on the side, the little access panel over here. Remove those first, then you can get to your rear rack, then your rear fender. And now we're going to move up here to the front. Kind of the same deal. Remove the rack, remove the metal rack support. 3 bolts on both sides of the fenders and this side. And then we've got little clips under the front here and right here. Little clips here and there for this front piece. Remove all these rack bolts. You can either collect them all, or I like to leave them just in the rack and set the rack down flat. That way you don't lose any of them. For the front rack, it's a little bit different. You have to remove this center cover. There are 2 bolts under there. Then you can pull this plastic piece off. Got 2 little catch tabs here at the back. And then it should slide back, up and off, and that is that little piece. Alright, so that is out of the way. You don't have to pull these little screws here and remove your gauge, because that fender doesn't have any connection here. It just sets on there. So the fender should pop off with that. But there are your plugs in here. You've got your ignition, your gauge, and then over here is your 12-volt accessory. Then also down in here is another 12-volt. And this 12-volt accessory in here, I think on this ATV I've run to my winch. Next thing to pull are these little clips in here. Pull all of those out. There are 2 of those up here holding the front So just for this little plastic piece here, that'll get this piece here loose. 2 more over on this side. These 3 right here. 3 bolts, 1 right in here, 1 back here, and 1 up in there. There is a bolt underneath each of these contact points, so take those out. There's 3 on each side. Then you can get those out of the way. Up at the front, there are 2 more of those little push clips that are right underneath the top lip of the fender that connect to that front fascia. So you'll have to remove those 2 clips, and then you can pull your fender off without anything else bound up. I did go ahead and remove those 2 bolts up that hold the gauge so I can pop the fender out, get me a little bit more space up there to move around. Just pop the fender off those little tabs and it will slide right out. You'll kind of slip it a little bit forward and it will come right off. So there we go, that's what it looks like without any fenders on the ATV. So now we can get down in here to all of our electrical connections, any engine work you need to work on. There we got the front off. If you don't want to have to get to these little clippy things, because those are kind of hard to get to, you can just get them with a needle nose plier, or you can take this whole front fascia off. You will just have to take off these lower bolts here, and then you'll have to remove these 3 bolts here, and that will remove your whole rack. So you don't have to take off the metal bars. Don't have to take off the whole rack or anything. That will all come off as one piece. You'll get the whole rack, the bars, these brackets, you'll get the fenders, and this front fascia piece. Then the only screws down here are these here and these up under here. And you'll have to make sure your winch has clearance here. This whole front plastic piece will come off with the fender. But this is a way to not have to take off the front headlights, just like that. Alright guys, that is how to remove all the plastics on your Arctic Cat Alterra ATV. Hopefully this video helps you out. We'll be getting to dielectric greasing all the electrical connections, finding out where all the plugs are in the next video. So make sure you're subscribed, follow along, and I'll see you guys there.